Given the whole situation in the world, many will agree that it's high time to get a refresher on how to survive a nuclear explosion. While everyone hopes that this won't be the case, being prepared for a nuclear explosion is something everyone should do. Nuclear explosions involve the use of nuclear weapons, which are devices used to create a massive destructive explosion. According to the statistics, these explosions can happen within minutes without warning. It begins with a flash brighter than the sun. Trees, fences, and people immediately catch fire. The health effects of nuclear explosions are due primarily to air blast, thermal radiation, initial nuclear radiation, and fallout. Blast. Nuclear explosions produce air blast effects similar to those produced by conventional explosives. The shock wave can directly injure humans by rupturing eardrums or lungs or by hurling people at high speed, but most casualties occur because of collapsing structures and flying debris. The effects on a person from a nuclear blast will depend on the size of the bomb and the distance the person is from the explosion. However, a nuclear blast would likely cause great destruction, death, and injury, and have a wide area of impact. Thermal radiation. Unlike conventional explosions, a single nuclear explosion can generate an intense pulse of thermal radiation that can start fires and burn skin over large areas. In some cases, the fires ignited by the explosion can result into a firestorm, preventing the escape of survivors. Though difficult to predict accurately, it is expected that thermal effects from a nuclear explosion will be the cause of significant casualties. Initial radiation. Nuclear detonations release large amounts of neutron and gamma radiation. Relative to other effects, initial radiation is an important cause of casualties only for low-yield explosions, less than 10 kilotons. Fallout. When a nuclear detonation occurs close to the ground surface, soil mixes with the highly radioactive fission products from the weapon. The debris is carried by the wind and falls back to Earth over a period of minutes to hours. In the event of a nuclear blast, a national emergency response plan would be activated and would include federal, state, and local agencies. Following some steps recommended by the World Health Organization may help you survive if a nuclear blast occurs. Turn away and close and cover your eyes to prevent damage to your sight. Drop to the ground face down and place your hands under your body. Remain flat until the heat and two shock waves have passed. Take cover from the blast behind anything that might offer protection. Lie face down to protect exposed skin from the heat and flying debris. Find something to cover your mouth and nose, such as a scarf, handkerchief, or other clothes. Remove any dust from your clothes by brushing, shaking, and wiping in a ventilated area. Don't forget to cover your mouth and nose while you do it. After the shock wave passes, get inside the nearest best shelter location for protection from potential fallout. You will have not more than 10 minutes to find an adequate shelter. This could be basement or another underground area, preferably located away from the direction that the wind is blowing. Remove clothing since it may be contaminated. If possible, take a shower, wash your hair, and change clothes before you enter the shelter. Cover your mouth and nose with a face mask or other material until the fallout cloud has passed. Shut off ventilation systems and seal doors or windows until the fallout cloud has passed. However, after the fallout cloud has passed, unseal the doors and windows to allow some air circulation. Stay inside until authorities say it's safe to come out. Listen to the local radio or television for information and advice. Authorities may direct you to stay in your shelter or evacuate to a safer place away from the area. If you must go out, cover your mouth and nose with a damp towel. Use stored food and drinking water. Do not eat local fresh food and don't drink water from open water supplies. Listen to the radio or television for information about evacuation routes, temporary shelters, and procedures to follow. Before you leave, close and lock windows and doors and turn off air conditioning, vents, fans. Take disaster supplies with you, such as a flashlight and extra batteries, battery-operated radio, first aid kit and manual, emergency food and water, non-electric can opener, essential medicines, cash and credit cards, and sturdy shoes. What you can do now? Nuclear explosion explosions are unpredictable, but it doesn't mean you can't take necessary precautions to stay safe. Identify the best shelter location near where you spend a lot of time, such as home, work, and school. The best locations are on the ground and in the middle of a larger building. Make sure you have an emergency supply kit for places you frequent and might have to stay for 24 hours. It should include bottled water, packaged food, emergency medicines, a hand crank or battery-powered radio to get information in case power is out, a flashlight, and extra batteries for essential items. If possible, store supplies for 3 or more days. Nuclear weapons have devastating effects. Destructive blast effects extend miles from the detonation point of a typical nuclear weapon, and lethal fallout may blanket communities hundreds of miles downwind of a single nuclear explosion. And all-out nuclear war would leave survivors with few means of recovery and could lead to a total breakdown of society. Debate about national and global effects of nuclear war continues, and the issues are unlikely to be decided conclusively without the unfortunate experiment of an actual nuclear war. But enough is known about nuclear war's possible effects that there is near universal agreement on the need to avoid them.